look at the issues going there at the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. And the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly will today again attempt to elect a presiding member after previous failed attempts. The Assembly has operated for months without a chief executive officer and a presiding member, the second most powerful person at the Assembly. And last week, attempts by the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly to vote for a presiding member was marred by violence, as some assembly members were involved in fisticuffs. The polls eventually failed to produce 2/3 majority of the votes as required by law. Hence, the need to consider it for the second consecutive time. And I have my colleague Evans Nkum, who is standing by to give us updates of what is happening there now. Hello, good afternoon, Evans, and thanks for joining us.
The presiding member of the KMA, I'm talking about Nana Kofi Senior and Nana Bafokese. That ended in a stalemate. October 16, 2015, same. November 16, 2015, same. May 17, 2016 was riddled with violence. Just last week, September 27, 2016, a section of the assembly members were also embroiled in violent acts, all in the name of getting somebody to represent or somebody to assume the position of a presiding member. Should that be a problem? Well, that's a multi-dollar question. But I'll be speaking to the KMA PRO in the shape of Mr. Okume Nyame. We'll also be speaking to one of the government appointees or assembly member, talking about Dodovi Francis, who will also join me very soon to do a brief analysis as far as the voting or the ongoing exercise is concerned. Mind you, early on we had 3 candidates vying for the sole slot. We're talking about Michael Adusei, Abraham Bwedi, and Obin Poku. But as I'm speaking to you now, Obin Poku has stepped aside, allowing Abraham Bwedi and then Michael Adusei to lock horns. But let me speak to my guests. So Francis and Mr. Okumenyame, you will join me. Mr. Okumenyame, I just want to borrow the regional minister's words in his welcome address. He said this has retarded development and the assembly members cannot repeat what has happened within the previous years.
Yeah, exactly. I think he said it all. He said it all in the sense that if you look at the way the assembly works, obviously we need a presiding member. But why do I say so? As we speak technically, we are at a crossroad. We are at a crossroad where we need to elect a presiding member today. Because if you are not able to elect a presiding member, there are certain consequences that obviously the Assembly is going to face. A whole lot of implications. One, our action plan, the fee fixing resolution, and then the budget. This needs to be approved. Whether we like it or not, needs to be approved by 31st of this month. Last year, we went through the same issue. The KMA was not having a presiding member. The Ministry of Local Government has to issue a letter for us to have a member presiding. Now, 1 year down the lane, we are still at where we were last year. Thursday will be exactly 1 year ever since we started this journey of electing a presiding member. So we have come far. We have come very far that whatever it is, we need to build consensus. We need to bury our differences in order for the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly to have a presiding member. So if you look at the atmosphere right now, you realize that all of us need a presiding member.
A very conducive one, because I can see a number of policemen who have also been positioned advantage areas to ensure that there is order, and this whole exercise is conducted in a very peaceful and then smooth manner. But let me just speak to Francis Dodovi. There is this intellectual confusion. Some are saying that you have done injustice to democracy because the whole concept of local governance shouldn't be embroiled in political colors. But that has been the case, and this has resulted in what we find ourselves in at the moment. Francis?
It isn't so. What it means is that we are rather deepening democracy, because what the process is that you must cast your votes on somebody who wants to become presiding member. So definitely we are rather enriching the processes, but it's rather unfortunate that both sides have taken a very entrenched position. I think that is what is going on. But to say it is marred with political activity, that cannot be true. It's rather unfounded. It has no basis as well, so to say.
We have millions of electorate who voted somewhere to October 2015. They voted for development, they voted for active participation in the local governance system. They voted, in fact, they voted for democracy. What is the assurance that this time around you are going to give them a presiding member?
Well, we can all just hope that what is going in over there will, transmogrify into electing a presiding member. That is all we all wish for. For the hope and for the promises, I cannot do that, because these are individual with their votes, and you must do it on individual basis. But I only hope that, observing from the previous ones and to where we've reached now, I think the entrenchment is a bit slow now, and I think the emotions are a bit down. And where these consultations and emotions and entrenchment are down a little bit, I'm sure that we'll get to the land that we all want to get to. So I'm sure that by the end of close of today, let me sound a bit optimistic that we might work out here with the needed presiding member.
All right, so we hope so. We have two candidates, as I said early on, vying for the sole slot. They need just a 98 vote to assume the position of the next presiding member, of course, in the next assembly. My name is William Ibansinkum. We'll still be giving you more updates on our website, www.3news.com, so you can follow us for more updates.